of the Nooniverse. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Tristan.
We're going to start again with the drama rundown, where we talk about a few shows that we're watching. So, Tristan wouldn't stop bothering me about watching the second season of Two Moons, because as I've talked about before on the podcast, I have a love for Kim and Copter because they're adorable.
But the only reason that I wanted you to watch Two Moons 2 is because of Pavel.
I finally did watch it because I literally had nothing to watch this week that was Boys Love, and I was kind of bored and, whatever, I needed something different. So I was like, okay, well, I will give Two Moons 2 a try. Earth and who's the other main character?
I believe his name is Ben.
Are adorable together and have way more chemistry than Bass and the other guy from this first season. But Jong and Nine don't make up for Kimmin and Copter, Tristan.
I mean, I knew you were going to say that. You're biased, though, because you really, really like Kimmin and Copter.
I love Kimmin, and Copter has dimples.
Yeah, but Nine is just adorable.
Nine is the best part of that relationship. So, to me, I enjoyed it. The weird, fast pace in the first couple of episodes where they were just trying to get through all the shit that had already happened in season 1 was a little strange. But I did like the expansion of Pavel and Dome's story. I do not remember their name.
Fourth and Beam.
Yeah, Fourth and Beam, who we didn't even get in the first season because I think they were trying to write it like a normal writer would, extend it out and make sure that everybody has enough time to get whatever they need. In my opinion, Fourth and Beam are literally the only reasons to even watch season 2.
I mean, I will agree with you because I love Pavel.
No, he's adorable, and I'm here for the whole, bad boy thing, obviously, but Pavel's really cute, and their characters are interesting. It's not the standard one-night stand. Pavel's like, dude, I don't do one-night stands. I want to be with you now. I don't just sleep with anyone, basically. So I'm here for that.
No, I think one of my favorite scenes is when Beam is like, oh, can I be the top? And he's like Pavel thinks about it for a second. He's like,
for a second. He has a whole moment where he considers it.
And then he's like, no, not even.
He has a whole moment, guys, where he considers it. The second season was good, but, I probably wouldn't rewatch it. To be honest, I don't rewatch Two Moons the first season either. I just go back to Gen Y and rewatch Gen Y because Kim and Copter are obviously the only reasons. Bass is adorable. Don't get me wrong. I love Bass, and I think he's a good actor, and I don't think God was quite, comfortable with doing BL, which, you can't force every boy to be comfortable with doing BL scenes, right? So, in my opinion, the main characters in season 2 were much more comfortable with each other and had much better chemistry. I don't remember their names. Earth and God. Is that what I said they were at the beginning? They were much more comfortable with each other than Bass, and whomever it was the other character. I don't remember his name. But I did finally watch it. It was cute for what it's worth. Fast forwarded really quickly through the first season to get to the good stuff. And I'm super grateful for all of the Fourth and Beam scenes. Pavel's adorable, and he's a good actor, and his character's interesting, and the interactions he has with Beam are adorable. I have said before on the podcast, I want my BL men to, know what they want and go after it.
I agree. I think it's better when they know what they want, and then you get more interactions of that instead of the wishy-washy, do I, don't I?
Exactly.
This
is the whole reason that Boone and Prem are getting their own series, is because people want more characters like Win. Period. That, and the story is amazing, and P-Sheep is just...
And you just want another reason to talk about Boone and Prem again.
Guys, when this comes out, you realize this is going to be the first thing on our list. So we're super excited. Let me rephrase. I'm super excited. I assume that Tristan is.
Oh, no, I'm all there.
Yeah.
I was the one that forced you to watch until we meet again.
That's true. So, no, I'm absolutely here for it. I just need my men to be a little bit more forthcoming with what it is that they want. It makes me happier. In other news, I watched a Vietnamese BL because I've been on this kick of trying to see what I like and kind of ease into some things that are different and interesting. I tried a couple of Filipino BLs. They were not my thing. I tried the one that everyone suggested that was Filipino, which was called My Day. I feel like you watched this one too, right?
I did. So I actually ended up having to skip through a lot of parts.
Because it wasn't I don't want to say it wasn't good, but the production quality isn't as good as Thailand or Korea. You know, I still am on the search for good BL, basically. And so I've started watching Vietnamese BL because at the suggestion of Reddit, some of them have a really good production quality. So I watched a series called My Lascivious Boss, which was a series about a guy who actually cross-dresses because he needs the money. And the boss of his current job doesn't find out that he cross-dresses, but he runs into his other personality as a woman, and he falls in love with the woman side of him. Despite the one scene in the first episode where they're making out heavily, and then you see the tattoo from the lover, it wasn't anything special. Even when they did end up getting together at the very end, which, by the way, if you aren't aware, Vietnamese series are very short. The ones that I've watched are like maybe 10 episodes. I think My Lascivious Boss was 8, if I'm not mistaken, and it went through their relationship really quick. The production quality was good, but the story was lacking, in my opinion. And I want to make a comment before I let Tristan take over that we've seen good Vietnamese BL, and this was unfortunately not it. So I was looking for something good, but it didn't quite hit the mark for me.
So I watched a movie, actually, this time around. I got to watch Seobok, which is a recent movie of Gongyu and Park Bo-gum. And Gongyu's character is a former, intelligence officer, and he gets pulled back into the fray from his former boss to become a bodyguard for a genetically cloned human being, so the first of its kind, who technically, they say, is immortal, and his cells will heal anything. And Gongyu's character has the brain tumor that the girl from Doom at Your Service has. It's the same exact thing. So he has this brain tumor, and they bring him on as a bodyguard on the understanding promise that he will be able to enter in the clinical trials for his genetic cell so that they can heal him from his brain tumor. And I'm watching this. Gongyu and Park Bo-gum are fantastic anyway. And I was very excited that they were in a movie together. And I started watching it, not really knowing what to expect too much because I didn't really watch too many of the trailers for this. I was just like, oh, I'm here. I'm on board with those two. Let's watch this. And so he comes on board and Gongyu's character is now his bodyguard, and they're working on transferring him to another location from their lab, which is on a ship, by the way. That's a major thing. Also, I'm going to go ahead and say spoilers for this entire movie. I know you haven't watched this one yet, right?
I wanted to, but I haven't had a chance to.
Okay, well, I'm going to totally spoil it for you. So they're in this big truck with the convoy going towards wherever this new location is, and they get bombarded by American agents that are out to kidnap Seobok, which is Park Bo-gum's character. And of course, Gongyu is like, no, I have to save him. I'm his bodyguard. So he works very well at his job. And then things happen, and you learn that the guy who brought him on, who's his former boss, hired these people to kill Seobok because he is on the understanding that nobody should be immortal and that this genetic creation should not exist, and they would rather kill him than it be out there in the world. So Gongyu, of course, is learning this while he's trying to protect Park Bo-gum's character. And Park Bo-gum is adorable in his, I kind of know how the world works, but I don't. And also, if I haven't mentioned this yet, he has special powers. Of course, because of course he does. So he has telekinesis, and he can push things with his mind and destroy things around him. And he's learning that being around him and him being alive is dangerous. And he basically ends up learning that Gongyu's character needs him to survive and ends up going back to the lab to sacrifice himself so that his bone marrow can be extracted to create this almighty, cure for people so that they can become immortal.
Got you.
And Gongyu's character is like, no, he's basically human. You can't do this to him. He deserves to live. You shouldn't treat him like a lab rat. And Seobok basically freaks out. He's like, no, I'm just going to kill everybody. And he does. He destroys the ship that they're on where the lab's at. Kills everybody that's on that ship, basically. And then they come out of the ship, and he is fighting the previous boss and his goons. And Gongyu is like, no, you shouldn't be killing these people. Seobok's like, well, you need to kill me because I'd rather be able to go to sleep than have to be here being used by these people. And so Gongyu kills him. And that's the end. Like, he legit kills him. And it's done. And I actually appreciated the fact that it did not have a happy ending. So I was sitting there kind of at the end of it like, oh, okay, I'm here for this. It was kind of sad. I was
kind of.
It was okay. It was very sad. But I did enjoy the movie. It was really good. So I would highly recommend the movie, though. It is actually really good. I know Rachel eventually needs to watch it.
It's on my list. I'm here for anything with Gong Yoo in it.
And they're both fantastic. Like, him and Park Bo-gum are fantastic in this. Actually, a really good duo. I don't think they've been in anything together before, have they?
Funny story about Park Bo-gum. He also has a little baby face like Song Joong-ki to me. But for whatever reason, I can handle his baby face rather than Song Joong-ki's baby face, which is just awful.
Park Bo-gum has less of a round baby face, though. It's
true.
More elongated, so I think
true.
that might be because he doesn't have like the chubby little...
I call
baby
Suga
cheeks?
a baby too, but he's in
He's not even
way,
the
shape, or
same.
form
Yeah,
like a baby.
He's not in the
it's
same
just that
vein.
like Song Joong-ki has just like the weirdest face shape. I don't know, guys. He just looks like a little tiny baby to me. And I always make the joke that, Suga's a baby too, but
you're calling him a baby because you like him and he's cute.
Because he's adorable and he's young. But that's different from Park Bo-gum and
Yes.
Song Joong-ki.
So anyway, I would highly recommend it. I'm also not in the middle. I'm near the end of a Korean drama that I'm watching on Viki. Tale of Nokdu is about a guy who grows up on an island with his father and his older brother and a sword master guy and his daughter, I guess. One day, female assassins come and try to kill him and his family, and he follows said assassins, the one that is left, to a village of widows that men are not allowed in this village. So of course he does what any sane male would do, dresses up as a female. So he becomes a widow. Widow Kim is who he ends up becoming, and he's trying to infiltrate this village so that he can find out who the assassins were, why they were trying to kill him and his family, and he meets a lot of good people along the way, and it's got Kim So-yoon.
Yeah, I love
She's
her.
in this. And our guy, the barista guy from Doom, he's in this. And we find out after a while that the main character, Nokdu, is actually the son of the king, who the king tried to kill at birth due to some godforsaken shaman who told him about, like, oh, well, if the son is born, you will never be able to sit on the throne as the king and you're going to die and he's going to become the king. So the king tries to kill him at birth, and the guy that he thought was his dad, who was a royal guard, took him away and raised him as his own to save him from being killed by the king, right? Lots of story. And then you learn that Kang Taeho's character, who is the guy from Doom at Your Service, is the nephew of the king. He is trying to revolt against the king and become the next king. And then they all learn that Nokdu is the king's son, except for the king. The king doesn't know. And all this while, like, Kim So-yoon's character, her family was massacred by the king. And so she's grown up with this cockeyed revenge idea that she needs to kill the king. And so a lot of things happen in the series. It's like 32 episodes, but they're like 30 minutes each. And right now I'm at a point where Nokdu has risen up in the ranks and he is now the royal guard to the king. I actually really enjoyed it so far. I have 4 episodes left, but I'm liking it. I liked the cross-dressing. I thought it was fun. There's some kooky parts where Kim So-yoon was gonna have to become a courtesan. Nokdu is like, no, I'm just gonna pay off your debt, and now I'm your mom. Like, I've adopted you into my family, and I'm your mom now. So they go around, and her calling him mother is hilarious. But no, it's good. I think it's a 2019 series, so it's not like super
brand new.
It's not super brand new, but it's good. It's got a good cast, and I'm liking it so far. So I'm almost done. I'll probably finish it this week.
we want to kind of move into things that we're watching together. And I want to start at the bottom of the list and go up because we want to talk about You're My Boy, which is a Vietnamese series that we finished. And the reason we want to talk about it is because we have spoken about Vietnamese and Filipino series and said, the production quality isn't necessarily up to the standards that Thailand and Korea are. And they're just not as good writing-wise, production, value, whatever you want to call them. But there's some, and I've heard that there are a few Vietnamese series that are actually really good that deserve like a watch, and we just haven't gotten to them yet. We plan on watching more. Like, we're here for anything that has good story and interesting characters. Plus, You're My Boy has adorable main leads.
Oh, yeah. No, they were so cute.
They were super cute.
It was too short, though. Like, it was
only
six episodes, about 20-ish minutes each-ish. Yep. Way too short. I mean, they did pack in a lot of story, though.
It moves so fast, though, which I'm always appreciative of. But when the story is that short, I feel like they cut things that they necessarily shouldn't have. Like, there's a whole part at the end where the main character tells the other male lead's dad, like, oh yeah, he was a pastier in another life, or that's how I met him. I'm pretty sure that was a joke, but I want to, make my comment here that, well, that would have been a really good, plot device, in my opinion, or a piece that they could have added into the series that would have made the characters more interesting. Because all of a sudden at the end, we then hear about how Nam is good at cooking pastries. And it's never really explained other than him saying, oh yeah, my dad is also a pastier. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying You're My Boy is bad. We both really enjoyed it. There are so many good moments. It's cute. The boys are adorable. They have great chemistry. They're obviously having fun. And I would highly recommend it. But it doesn't have rewatch value, in my opinion. And the story is just okay. I liked it, but it's not something that I would go back to all the time.
I mean, there were good scenes that I think I would, if I'm feeling down, I would probably skip through and watch again. Them cuddling on the bed was
at the parents' house.
Yes, is adorable. Talking about having a weapon in bed, quote unquote.
Why did you carry a weapon into bed? That was probably one of my favorite scenes. There were other scenes that were good. The ending scene was just a tease.
There was nothing too overly sexual about most of it. Yeah. It was very cute.
So Reddit has this thing saying that Vietnamese series don't have the same kind of restrictions that either Thailand or South Korea has, right? Because these are all web dramas, so they don't air on national television, unlike in Korea and in Thailand.
So they should be able to get away with a lot more
stuff, obviously, because I watched My Last Vicious Boss, and trust me, even though there was only one sex scene in it, it was way more than I have seen in Thailand series when we're talking about public television series, right? So definitely they can get away with a lot more stuff, but that's about, I've said that before, that doesn't do anything for me. I need strong, interesting characters.
I will say there's a couple of parts in this that I was like, that doesn't seem like that's what your character should be doing. Like when he sees him through the window at one point, and I'm like, no, just walk in and claim your man. And he walks away, and I'm like,
When the guy is making pastries with the owner of the cafe is what you're talking about.
No, before that. When it was before the rainstorm.
Yeah, he was making pastries with the owner.
No, because he comes back in because when they're doing pastries, they're on the live, right?
It's not pastries, but they're doing something together. They're making something together.
Okay. And he's with the owner, and he's looking at him through the window, and I'm like, okay, go in and claim your man. And he just walks away, and I'm like, that doesn't seem like that's what your character should be doing.
At one point during the series, Duong is the best character. He expresses very clearly what it is he wants. He doesn't put up with the male lead's shit.
Super sassy.
He's
I like it.
sassy. No, he's adorable. And so it seems really strange that he would just
Run away after getting confessed to. Like, I wasn't here for any of that. I was like, no, why are you running away? You have all this confidence and sassiness, and then you're just gonna run away when he confesses to you.
Agreed. And I don't feel like that was a problem so much with the actors as so much as it was with, they just had a really short amount of time to put a series together, and because they were trying to squish everything they wanted into 8 episodes, they cut out a lot more than they should have, in my opinion.
I mean, it's still worth a watch.
It is. And again, it's called You're My Boy. So I say my, but it's actually M-A. But it's a Vietnamese series. You'll find it on YouTube. It's free to watch. They've got it subtitled. The production quality is, again, really good. And from what I understand with Vietnamese series, they're releasing them with subtitles for quite a few countries. I don't know which ones, so don't hold me to that, but they're releasing them with quite a few different subtitles, so definitely worth a watch. We're also watching I Promised You the Moon. So I made the comment in the first episode that I'm here for O and Tae dating other people. I said that.
So you did, and I agree, but there should be a certain way to go. No, there is a certain way that it should be gone about. Give me a clean break.
Oh, yeah.
And then they can go out and do whatever they need to. I don't need to see Tae kissing someone else and OA watching him do this, because that just breaks my heart.
So, in my opinion, Tae was testing the waters because he had been spending multiple days flirting with O's character, which I don't... Jay. Whatever his character's name is. He had been testing the waters for several days, flirting with him, and then he's like, oh yeah, like, I'm ready to try this exercise again with you if you want to. And like, the moment, so I just want to make this comment. The moment Tae asks Jay, I'm never going to get his name right. The moment that Tae asks Jay if he can put his head in his neck, there is a moment there where Jay realizes what's happening, and you can see in his eyes it's clicking for him, right? So the flirting maybe was like an offhanded second thought for Jay, I feel like, until that very moment. And then that moment happened where Tae put his head in Jay's neck, and he was sniffing him with the hom kiss, and he was taking in his scent, and Jay tells him, can I see your face? That does it right there. Jay knew exactly what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I am 100% behind the theory that, you know, he should not be kissing Jay when he is still with OAO. I absolutely agree. But you cannot sit here and tell me that Jay is 100% innocent in that scene, because that is not what happened in my opinion.
No, he knew exactly what he was doing.
I'm telling you that there was a realization, there was a click in his brain. Something went off when he realized that it had stepped further than just them flirting for the last couple of days. And he said, let me see your face. And he knew where it was going to go from that moment.
Well, then you get Tae kisses him, and then he kisses him back afterwards.
Exactly. That's the other part of this, right? Is that Tae kisses him, but it's very closed mouth, and it's very, like, structured. Like, you almost believe he's trying to stay for the character. And then he releases, and he looks at Jay for a few minutes, and it's not even minutes, it's
like a seconds. Yeah.
And then Jay, like, grabs him and kisses him. And I'm talking, like, he opens his mouth to kiss him. So this was not, like, them practicing their characters. No. You cannot tell me that. So I'm here for them dating other people, but I agree. I don't think anything should be happening until he speaks with OAO.
So I'm wondering if that's why Jay made the comment after their kiss about it being about the exercise. Absolutely. And he was doing really well.
Absolutely.
Because I don't know if he wanted to get into those and like shake the waters, because he knows everything that's going on between Tae and OA
because he's been writing in the book.
Yeah, so I don't think he meant for it to go beyond that.
Agreed.
until Tae talks to OA and like figures shit out. I mean, I'm here for it. I am. I need that clean break between Tae and OA first.
I agree. I think the boys are, I think I gave a lot of slack to Tae because he's really new at this whole gay relationship thing.
Yes. Well, and you could see how uncomfortable he was with Dream during the first exercises that they were doing.
Right.
And then, of course, now he's coming into this realization that he's like, oh, I think I'm attracted to him.
Right.
And you get the moments where their knees are touching and he is, hanging out with them a lot. And
the menacing music, the weird, guys, I don't know what's going on with this episode. Artistically, I Promised You the Moon. I'm going to be the first to say it. Some of this weird, menacing music that plays at, times that just seem inappropriate. Like when the bodyguard or security guards, I'm assuming it's a security guard of the area, comes over and they're looking over the river and they're not supposed to be there. This is Jay and Tae. And then the menacing music plays as they run away and then they have their staring at each other moment. It was such a weird, it was a good moment.
So you could totally tell in that moment that Jay knew that he was being checked out too.
He did. And that's what I'm saying. They have been playing this cat and mouse game for several days. Tae and Jay have.
Well, there was a moment when Tae asks Jay to do the exercise with him, Jay pauses and he's thinking should I actually do this with him?
So I think the insinuation there was that he was thinking something more. And then Tae's like, oh no, I'm just talking about the exercise. Yeah. No,
that's right. Because they were talking about it doing the first time again.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, there was absolutely a moment there. And that's what I'm saying. I'm here for all of this because I don't think that you should just end up with the first person that you sleep with. I have said that before. As an old lady, I'm telling you, you don't end up with the first person that you sleep with. That doesn't necessarily mean you don't go back to them, but you don't just end up with only one person that you sleep with. It's just very strange, in my opinion.
I will say, and this probably be my last comment, is I appreciate the fact that we got snippets of Tae and OA's first time together on the beach.
Oh, yeah, that was cute.
I was like, oh, this is...
that was cute.
Beach sex is
Whatever.
not, it's disgusting because sand.
It really is. For all you kids out there, please don't have beach sex.
But I'm here for the snippets of that intermixed with them having sex again.
Absolutely.
And it was a really good moment to watch.
It was a good episode. We predicted in the last episode that this would be the breakup episode. And I have to say, I'm still seeing it heading that way, what with OAO seeing them kiss in the studio, but we will see for the next episode.
I'm wondering if OA heard what Jay said after the kiss.
So my first impression, as Tristan will say, was that Jay saw OAO, and that's why he ended it, but Tristan assures me that's not what happened.
Not that I assure you, I don't think
She's
he
not
did
sure.
see him.
Yeah. So we'll see for the next time. We're also still watching My Roommate is a Gumiho.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say this. The second male lead is a dick.
Yeah. So I said that the last couple of episodes. He doesn't get a damn pass for the way that he treats Hyeri's character. He does not get a pass.
No, so the whole moment when she learns about the bet, right? And she's giving him this moment to talk. And in his mind, he's like, no, I like her. I should say this. And he doesn't. And I'm just like...
Not only in his mind is he thinking that he likes her, he's thinking in his mind, I don't like you because of this stupid damn bet.
Right. And he could have said that and he didn't. But I kind of appreciate the fact that he didn't use it as an excuse for the bet itself and canceling the bet.
Right.
He wasn't using his feelings as the excuse. He was saying, I'm sorry that this happened, but it did happen. He wasn't excusing himself from the fact that he did it.
I also want to say on this whole bet thing, I love Hyeri's friends so much.
Yes.
They were the best parts of these episodes, right?
Yes.
Sticking up for her. The one guy that really feels like he's her brother and related to her and really, you honestly see how close he is to her is adorable, and I need that all the
Well,
time.
him being so hurt that she didn't talk
Tell
to him, and then being all sulking.
Yes.
It was
adorable.
super cute. But then instantly being like, I'm not sulking anymore because shit is going down with my friend. I'm here to protect her, and then I'm going to just set this aside and we can deal with that later. Like, that was really good.
So the series in general has really good characters. All of the characters are interesting in their own ways. I feel like interesting is another word.
Strong-minded.
Yeah. I feel like interesting is one of those words I use too much, but they are strong-minded. And when I say that, I'm talking specifically about Hyeri's friends are amazing. But let's talk about Hyeri's mom for a moment.
I loved her.
I need all moms to be like this. Like, no, you live your own life, and if this is how you want to live it, then that's fine. But you do you, and that's it. You do you.
You did get that instant moment of like, oh, what's going to happen here? Is she going to like pull her away, make her stop living with him?
Exactly.
There's none of that. It's like, hey, I'm fine with this. This is your choice. You do what you need to do.
I need more non-parental interference in my series like this mom. Also, she's gorgeous.
Yes.
She's beautiful. And she's interesting, and she lets her daughter do what she needs to grow as a person without interfering in her life. I'm here for Hyeri's mom. Absolutely. The only other thing that I want to say is we found out why he's not pulling that bead out.
Oh, yeah. So I'm worried now that we're learning all this tidbit about him not doing this because she's going to lose her life.
She's going to lose her memories. So after a year, she will lose her life. But when he pulls the bead,
yes,
she's going to lose everything about him, which is why he hasn't pulled the damn bead.
Well, the whole comment from her about saying, well, I'll be your family,
was amazing. A little creepy, but amazing.
Well, no, it kind of broke my heart because he's been so alone this whole time and worried about making those connections because he knows what will happen once he takes that energy and the bead. And you get to this point where she's like, well, I'm your family.
Right.
Like, I will be there for you. And it's going to be all the more heartbreaking when she finds out that he's been lying to her.
I just want to say, too, the whole sassy niece thing, I was here for that. Her being really upset that he called her his niece. I was absolutely here for that. So that was fantastic.
Like her taking every moment she can to call him uncle.
Uncle? That was great. I do want to say, like, I am glad that we finally freaking learned why it is that he doesn't want to pull the bead yet. Whether or not he's admitted it in his mind, whatever.
We still have like 10 episodes left of this, don't we?
Yeah, we're really close in. I also want to say that was a date between So Woo. Is it So Woo? I think it's So Woo.
At the museum?
Yeah, that was a date.
Yeah, can we talk about him tripping the guy with the chair after he...
That's Doom.
No. Tripping the guy after her blind date.
Yeah.
Tripping him with the chair because he was overhearing their conversation.
Guys, wait. This is 2 series now where these guys are like literally tripping other men because they're being mean to the female lead. I'm here for it.
No. In Doom, it was a completely different reason.
That's true.
But yes, that was. And then his face when he got caught.
Oh, so good. That guy was such a twat. I would have left the date 15 minutes in. If I even lasted 15 minutes. I'm sorry. You should have bought coffee. I would have been like, nope, I'm done.
No, way before that. If I'm yawning during a date with someone, that's a red flag. Like, I don't need to be around this person.
I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't know if I've ever yawned on a date, but I definitely would have been outie if he had been like, you should have bought the coffee. Blah.
Oh, yeah, where he's like, oh, you purposely stayed outside so that you didn't have to buy coffee.
No, moron. That's not why I was outside. Take note. This is not how you
date.
No, this is not how you date. But I would say, in general, I'm glad that it picked back up, right? Because
I was about to say, yeah, we said last time that it had gotten slow again, and these last 2 episodes did not feel slow to me.
Nope, not at all. And I think it helped with the date between the 2 main characters. I'm just going to say.
Well, I mean, that's definitely going to push his feelings towards what's going on.
Absolutely. I'm here for that. So, of course, like I mentioned earlier, I'm all here for Doom at your service. And I made a comment again that it has slowed down, but these last 2 episodes are just heart-wrenchers. So if you haven't seen them yet, they were pretty difficult to get through, but past them being difficult to get through, there were some really good moments.
A big part of what I remember is her making this list of things that she needs to do before she just ups and disappears from everybody's life because she feels that that is what she needs to do.
Well, she asked the stupid writer, and the writer's like, oh yeah, the main character has to self-sacrifice. No, dude, like, that's not what you have to do. Don't do that.
Well, I mean, he's adorable, though.
He is adorable, but no, you don't have to self-sacrifice to make sure that everyone in your life is happy. Like, that's just crazy. And I really, even though it was heart-wrenching, my favorite part of these 2 episodes is the honey-do list or the bucket list. I guess it's more of a bucket list of things she wanted to do before she passed away.
Yeah, was it like the shopping, buying the gifts for her friends and her family?
Going to each one of them and giving them the gifts and things like that. So even though I feel like that was the most heart-wrenching part of the episodes, Doom being there and watching over her made those scenes so much better. I mean,
you mean like standing there like a hawk watching everything?
Being a creep in the background.
And everybody's like, who's this guy watching you? No, one of my favorites was after she's done talking to the 3 coworkers, they're talking about his looks. Yeah. And they're all saying, it's like, oh no, he was tall. No, he wasn't. He was short. And he's like, he's better looking than you.
And old and young. And none of them could figure out. I want to say, the best part of Doom so far, I loved that kiss, don't get me wrong, in episode 4, I think it was. But my favorite part so far is the young writer. She's getting the young writer to write a little note to one of her other writers who has, I want to say,
cancer.
Ovarian cancer, right? And she's getting her to write a note for her, and when he leaves the store, and even before then, I think he has a moment where he's like looking around Dong-kyung and he's like looking at Doom and he's like, who is this? Isn't that the tteokbokki owner that that's following you around? Are you dating him? And Dong-kyung's like, yeah, I'm dating the tteokbokki shop owner. And he's like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then he like starts walking out and Doom tries to trip him.
And he jumps over his leg. Oh, and then he's like, no, I'm going to leave loudly and sticks his tongue out at him.
So wonderful. The kid is so good. Like, I don't know who the actor is. I don't know what they were thinking. But with everything that was going on, it was a really good moment to like take a break from all the heartache and everything else, especially considering how that episode ended.
Yes. I feel like the instance with him was very like a breath of fresh air considering everything else that happened. Once you learned why she was meeting all these people and she was crossing off this list and then she was walking out of everybody's lives in the middle of the night, mind you.
When she took that bracelet off, and I don't even remember where she put it.
In his hand.
She did put it in his hand.
Yes.
Yeah. I was not a happy camper. I was like, oh, that seems like a good idea.
You made the comment and you're like, he's going to find you no matter where you go.
And that's what I don't understand. Why Dong-kyung just thinks that she can just get out of the contract and he wouldn't find her. He is in love with her. He has said, I am in love with you. And she thinks that she's just going to walk away from Doom and
Doom's not having that.
Have her own little suicide. So he's not just going to let her walk away and just commit suicide by herself? That's not what's going to happen.
No. He's going to find her and stay with her forever.
Absolutely. He's Doom. He has magical powers.
He's going to find a way to save her. It's going to happen, right?
Exactly. I was so upset at that. At her stupid, dumb thinking. Like, whatever. Nobody thinks this way. You're not just going to walk away from Doom and everything's going to be fine. It's not what's happening.
He's not having any of that.
I did feel a little bit sorry. Didn't you feel a little bit sorry for the deity? Tristan's like, no.
I know. I had to think for a second when she was
really sick.
He was talking to her in the bed and she wouldn't look at him, and then you learn that she's like bleeding.
Right.
Yeah, that was pretty heart-wrenching.
Yeah. I felt especially bad for her when we learned that she apparently lives to be sick and then dies still really sick. So I guess
like constantly she's born sick and then she stays sick, and then she dies in different
So I was
years of being
definitely
sick.
sad for her for that point. I still think that she has some twisted views on the way that humans see destiny and fate, but we'll talk about that, I'm sure, in the last couple episodes, because those are going to be heart-wrenchers.
Mm-hmm. We got caught up on Fish Upon the Sky.
Last but definitely Fish Upon the Sky. I needed this whole episode, okay? I needed the whole, we're standing next to your bed and you think I'm not going to jump you. I needed this whole episode with...
I mean, I will say it was a little bit strange that he kept hiding him from doing. Like, I'm like, okay, you're in the kitchen, then you're in the bathroom, then you're in the bedroom.
So a couple of things. I made the comment to Tristan while we were watching it. Doohan is the one person that I would think that P would tell what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, he, for all his faults, he's actually a
really good brother.
Yeah, he sticks up for his brother. He helped him and got the kitty gang to help him with his looks, and he genuinely cares about his brother. So I'm not 100% sure why.
I don't know either. I think, in my personal opinion, this all goes back to those stupid damn Yowie girls and everything that's happened with, like, being public and people being really creepy. I'm totally here for P being really uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable, but
cautious.
Cautious is a good word to use.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it. But I gotta say, I needed all those moments with Mork and P. Every last one
They
of
were
them.
so cute.
So it's so funny, too. Did you not get the feeling that Mork was doing it on purpose?
Oh, yeah. He totally was.
Right? Because, like, instead of moving out of the house,
He moves further in.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Instead of moving out of the house to get away from Doohan, seeing what's happening, he's moving further into the house. So first he starts out in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And
then the bathroom.
And then he's in the bedroom somehow.
Yep.
No. This boy knows exactly what he's doing. But past all that, I'm just saying, like, or Mork knows that, you know, he's super attracted. He's been attracted to P for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So he's doing anything he can. And then that moment where he's like, oh no, it's going to take Doohan a second to shower.
And he's like, oh, I need that kiss from you, and pushes him against the bed.
I need all of that. I need more of that next time, too.
No, the whole part with him underneath the blanket was just... it was absurd, but it was
so
adorable.
good. No, I'm here for absurd. When the series starts out goofy as shit and doesn't set itself as really realistic, I'm here for all of these moments. It's one of the reasons I like Tanhan, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because all of the moments are just so goofy and totally fucking unbelievable. This shit doesn't happen in real life. I don't care. I need all of it. Like, it's fantastic.
Well, now that at the end of the episode, of course, Doohan is like, y'all are dating, aren't you? Because he has, like, the pins together.
Yeah.
I will say, so P and Mork trying so hard to see each other, but not see each other.
Is so cute.
I mean, I'm like, really? Anybody who looks at y'all will know that y'all are secretly dating.
So if you aren't aware, the trailer that plays at the end of the episode is actually only like 15 seconds or something. It's a shortened version of what the actual trailer is for the next episode. So I highly recommend searching for the next episode's trailer because you're going to get a little bit more context. It's not subtitled, but you know, you can guess what's going on. And I am super afraid that Doohan is going to screw things up for P.
Now that we, of course, know that Mork and Mean are brothers.
So weird.
I don't think Mork wants Doohan anywhere near his brother, right?
I wouldn't want
and then
Doohan anywhere near my brother either.
All the stuff that has been happening between P and Mork that Doohan's trying to keep from happening,
right.
I think it's just going to come to a head in the next episode.
I do think so. So there's a couple of scenes in the trailer, in the 30-second trailer, where the kitty gang is involved, and it's obvious that Doohan is keeping P from Mork.
Mm-hmm.
And Mork comes to the house, and he literally tells him, like, you need to just worry about me. I'm the only one that really should matter to you. Like, are we not in a relationship together? So that broke my heart a little bit, and I'm hopeful that Doohan doesn't
screw it all up.
Isn't a jerk forever. I understand. This is why my first instinct was he should have told Doohan.
Yeah. But I don't know if Doohan at that point would have appreciated the relationship.
I'm not sure. I will say, though, the trailer also included Doohan being absolutely freaking adorable with Mean. jumping up on him into his arms. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, I need all of that. Doin and Mean together are so adorable.
I really enjoyed and this is just the funny scenes of Doin and the kitty gang.
She's gonna talk about this freaking go ahead.
The strip dance.
The strip dance.
Course.
I knew that's where this
But
is
it's
going.
because I appreciated that Doin and his friends were helping Mean with his booth.
Yeah.
Blah,
that's
blah,
why
blah,
she
right?
Yeah, guys.
It was funny.
It had nothing to do with her man being in the kitty gang and wanting to see him start to take his clothes off.
AJ or JJ?
It's AJ, isn't it?
Is it AJ? I can never remember. I'm looking it up because I love both of them.
Guys, she really just wanted to see this guy take his clothes off in the kitty gang, and I knew exactly.
Hey, he had better moves than Doin did, I'm just gonna say.
Doin and his little hip rolls. Oh my god.
Doin was way too over the top in his dancing, but I mean, he's playing up the character, so.
Neo's just having a lot of fun, you can tell. Like, he really is. He's having a lot of fun.
No, I liked it. It was a nice little break from things, but it was like.
It was not a nice break. I needed more of the fluffy, adorable Mork. Really? Okay, wait.
Okay.
So, Mork's been going after P, but he hasn't been going after.
See,
P.
and now he's like, oh, all bets are off now.
All bets are off.
I will say, so we got to the scene of how they met, right? And you get this backstory of knowing, like, we've already established that P had been bullied by his quote unquote friends, right?
And we get more of that. We actually
get to see it and see how Mork viewed it.
Right.
And it was kind of heart-wrenching to watch.
It was.
But in all of that, you learn, like, P learns that Mork liked him before his change and his appearance and while he was being bullied and had all the cute pictures of him, beforehand.
Mm-hmm. I was here for the whole episode. I needed all that fluff. It's also episode 10. So now we have 2 episodes left and I need all of the Mork and P cute, fluffy, moments.
We also need the moment of Nan finding out.
Oh, yeah, I don't care about Nan. I love Mix.
I don't care about him, but I need that moment of him congratulating Mork.
That's true.
For his perseverance in this bullshit.
I need Bam to find out.
Oh, yeah.
That should be a funny scene.
And not her hurting him somehow?
Yeah, we're not gonna go that way. I'm still hopeful that the series doesn't go that way, so we'll see. Okay, so if you could choose to only live in one drama world, which would it be and why?
That's gonna be a hard one. Because do you choose the worlds that are more realistic? Or do you choose the fantasy worlds that you wouldn't necessarily get?
That have magic.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is you're gonna end up being a second female lead no matter which world you choose, right?
I mean, unless you kill the main lead.
I mean, I don't want to kill the main lead.
The main female lead.
I don't want to kill her either.
Well, which world are you talking about?
I mean, I want to be in any world that includes Lee Dong-wook. I'm just saying.
Lee Dong-wook, really?
Yes.
Wait. Do you want his Ninetail character or his Reaper character?
I want to live in... It depends. So I would live in Goblin's world if it meant that I knew of all the magic that was in the world. But the humans in Goblin don't know that there's magic in the world.
Well, okay, so let's make it where you're going in knowing all of it. Yeah.
Then I absolutely want to live in Goblin's world because I'm going to be chasing that asshole down to hell. I'm sorry, guys. If you haven't seen it, Lee Dong-wook has a little thing on YouTube where he does this little joke thing where he's mean for 30 seconds. And I don't know what it is, but he's so freaking cute.
I'm still trying to think. The sad thing is, I wrote this question too, and I'm like,
And she has no idea.
I don't, because, I was thinking, I don't want Extraordinary You, because then I would know that I'm living in a comic book world, and then the world disappears, and you go into new books every single time. I don't need that, because that would be way too much for me. I don't want to go into Scarlet Heart, because everybody dies. Let's not do that.
No, I'm good.
Too much. I would not go into Tale of the Nine-Tailed, because all the other people outside of the main characters are dicks.
If I was going into Tale of the Nine-Tailed, I would be following around that fortune teller. Because you're saying that I would know the whole story, right? I would be following around that fortune teller.
The bear one?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No. That's not the
No.
fortune teller. The bear is his friend.
Oh, the
fortune
one with
teller-
the bag of like
Yeah,
whatever.
the one with the bag of all the stuff.
Okay.
I would be following him around. I'm telling you. If we're going into these worlds knowing what's going on, I would be following him around.
So I would say W if I have the same powers of the drawing board.
Yeah. W's problem, though, is that all those characters in the comic book disappear at the end. So we love W, don't get us wrong. But my only problem with W, and if you haven't seen it, please fast forward through this part. But the only problem with W is the ending is a little bit convoluted, right? Like, you don't really find out, but you kind of assume that all the characters just kind of disappear at the end because he's no longer in the comic book world and decides to live with her in the real world. So that's a little convoluted. If you're going in as a character, a friend of the main female lead, then you'd probably be fine.
Right. I mean, I would want to go to the school of Y Destiny.
I wasn't even thinking of BL, and she's like pulling BL into the conversation. I would follow Kang around so many times. I'm sorry. I would be a creepy stalker.
Yeah, but you would be like switching between Gen Y and Y Destiny.
It's true. It's true.
But we only said one world. We still haven't thought of the one world we
Of
would
the
want to
one
go to.
world that we would want to go to. So, like, if we're talking about BLs, most of those happen in the real world, other than the plots being on a university campus. And God, I would not want to do.
Yeah, let's not go back
again.
to university.
Please, no and thank you. For that matter, I would. Manner of Death would be way too brutal. And again, I say nothing like the book, but whatever. So Manner of Death would be out, in my opinion. ATOTS would be at the bottom of my damn list.
I was about like, why would you even have that on your list?
Never.
You did not like that one at all.
I would never even consider it. And Tarn and Type both are terrible people. Although I say that, and Tarn at least is a caring, interesting person, whereas Type has problems with homophobia and a whole bunch of other things. So Tarn would probably be a good friend. But again, with the school setting, which is most BLs, I mean, I would live in Phuket.
That would be a good one.
I would, but the world isn't interesting or different.
But
right?
it's pretty, and you get
pretty.
Bilkin.
I would I would live in Phuket just to be with Bilkin.
History trapped, because I would want to be in the mafia. I'm just saying.
But he's trying to clean the mafia.
I know. I would be on the good part of the mafia, sure, but I would still be under his, his gang.
Can we claim Yaoi Banga worlds?
I mean, I said drama worlds, but you're gonna say viewfinder, aren't you?
I mean, I would work for Asami in a freaking heartbeat. He takes care of his I say characters, but he takes care of all his people, even the guy that was creepy in love with him. And I don't want to go too far because Tristan's rereading it right now and might not remember, but like even the creepy guy that was in love with him, Asami totally took care of him. So I'm just saying, I would be a mafia person in Viewfinder.
I got one. Absolute boyfriend.
I never saw that.
You get a robotic boyfriend.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that. Yeah.
So I've seen both the J-drama and the Korean version. I liked both of them. And I would like that concept if I would be able to get that for free, because ain't nobody got money for that.
Could I live in any world with Boone? Like, I know I live in a world with Boone, but I'm just saying, like...
In a world where Boone knows you?
In a world where Boone knows who I am.
I mean, sure.
Because I want to live in Until We Meet Again. I would live in any world that included Boone knowing who I am. Also, I would live in any world where Korn knew who I was. Please.
So, Lovely Writer?
I know, but Lovely Writer is...
Would you prefer Korn or Nubsib?
Nubsib.
Okay.
I mean, Korn's adorable, but Nubsib, 100%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't love a man who absolutely just goes after what he wants? So yeah, I would live in any world with Nubsib. I'm just saying. He's fantastic. I wasn't even, remember, I've said
you
this
weren't even
before.
thinking about the BLs.
I wasn't even thinking about BLs, but I especially did not like Cal's acting for a long time. And then whatever happened with Nubsib, and then watching Until We Meet Again, I was like, oh, well, I'm here.
I'm kind of glad then that you saw Lovely Writer first.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you would have enjoyed his character
No.
as much.
No. know. So I do have to say, like, the more I go back and kind of rewatch scenes from Until We Meet Again, I just love Corn and In Touch. Like, so much. It's ridiculous.
I mean, I really liked In Touch's character because he was very forward,
He's
and
adorable.
I really apprecited that a lot.
I especially liked Perth's character as his best friend. He was adorable too, and very supportive, and they all told him, you know, don't get around Corn because whatever, you know, we're jerks and blah blah blah. But Corn and In Touch were just too cute for me. So I'm here. I would rewatch for their moments as well. They won't be in between us, which makes sense, right?
Well, it makes more sense because we're not talking about the reincarnation of the past of their characters anymore.
It's a bummer to me because, like, Cal's so good, guys. Remember, I made that comment about Gun being so amazing, but Cow too is so good. Like, he falls into these characters so naturally.
I need more with him.
I do too. He's one of those actors like Gunn that, like, if you told me that he was in a new series, I'd probably just watch it just because they're in it. Gunn or Cow, honestly.
Is he supposed to be in anything coming up?
Not that I'm aware of. He did make that comment on that little video that he would do anything to work with Up again, and I was here for that.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Because they're adorable.
They are.
Before we end the episode, in other news, we were actually going to talk about separate things that weren't related to dramas, but the Lovely Writer episode, Special 13, aired this week. That was 2 hours long. I'm here for 2 hours of Nubsib, and I'm just saying, like, I'm here for 2 hours of Nubsib and
definitely here for 2 hours of that and not the 3 hours of Kingdom.
Oh my god, Kingdom. I love Kingdom. Don't get me wrong. It was fantastic, but geez, I didn't need 3 hours of that. However, everything that happened in that last episode, we needed all of that. They're so cute.
We were watching it and we're like, okay, they all know what's going on, right? They have to be playing each other. And then we were like, okay, no, Jean's doing this. No, Nubsib, no Jean. No Nubsib.
And we went back and forth. We were going back and forth like 10 minutes because we weren't sure if it was a Nubsib ploy or if it was a Jean ploy. But there was a moment, and I don't remember exactly which moment. I think it was when the water squirted. No, because that's when you kind of knew.
No, you already knew that part.
Yeah, by then I think I knew. But, like,
I think, no, because we were talking when Bua was going crazy.
No, it wasn't Bua. When Bua went crazy, I had a feeling, I was like, maybe it's Jean. It wasn't Bua. When Tom was falling down on the ground as well.
Yes.
And he was like, oh yeah, I've been possessed or whatever happened. I was like, oh, it's all Jean. Obviously, Jean is getting back at Nubsib, and that was so good.
I mean, I appreciate the fact that everybody was on board with what was going on.
What was going on, yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, we'll be in on this with you. No qualms, I'm sure. I will say, though, at one point in the conversation that he was having when he was pointing the gun at Cal, I was like, is this really necessary?
I feel like there was a point where you thought that the episode was a little bit too long, right?
No, I wanted more of the ploy.
That's what it was.
I wanted they
went
so quickly through them playing against each other. I was like, I could have watched more of that. I know you said you didn't.
No, I thought it began and ended really well, and it didn't drag on for too long. But I do have to say, I said multiple times, I needed more handsy moments between them. I mean, I obviously need more kisses, but, like, they've been an established relationship for 2 years, and they're not handsy. And then the moments that we did get, where they were, like, cut at the end, where they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to the bedroom, and that's literally what happened. They, like, cut it off. I don't want to see them having sex, but I want to see, like,
the lead up. Then the slow pan away.
Yeah. I need the turn and type a glass of ice on the floor. No, I don't need that much.
You don't need that much.
I need at least, like, a little something, because it felt really short, in my opinion. I'm still really happy. And the kiss at the end when they were watching the film reel was adorable.
Yes.
And I was here for that, but felt kind of short. There was a lot of plot and not enough of the lovey stuff.
I will say they could have cut the entire part of A coming in
felt so bad. So I don't agree. I think that they needed that because they needed to show that how A's character was moving along in the BL industry. I think it was a
and
good
not doing
commentary.
well at all.
Yeah, so I think it was a good commentary on what happens when you break character and ships. What's the word I'm looking for? Ships sail without meaning to. In other words, what I mean is he was there to make sure that his character and Nubsib were shipped together, but Nubsib was not there. And the second that happened, A, in general, didn't have a career in the BL industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was the moment that I was like, okay, this needed to be said, right? It's ridiculous. This is exactly what happened with Max, is he had to make that comment after Mook posted that photo and everybody got all up in arms about it. But like, to me, it was a side kind of tongue-in-cheek moment where they were like, yeah, if you come out and say something, or if something happens where your ship is no longer making money for us, then obviously you're not going to do well in this community. And I think that needed to be said. So I appreciated that scene.
That part, yes. But then the whole part about them establishing that he was basically having a sugar daddy and using those connections.
No, I agree.
That part I could have
agree.
done without.
So I think they were just making a comment that like he was grasping at straws at that point. But I agree. I didn't need the conversation on the phone with the I'll send you whatever money you want or whatever it was. So in general, I really liked the last episode. The special. I'm not going to call it the last episode. It's the special episode. It was good. And the characters were everything was still really good. I don't care about Tim and Tiffy. Tim and Tuffy. Apparently. That's how much I care about them. I don't even know what their names are. It's fine.
I mean, I appreciate that they were getting married, but
otherwise
you didn't like them in the entire series anyway.
Not. But I wasn't interested in seeing a relationship with a het couple in my BL. That's what it came down to for me.
I'm totally waiting for that between us with Manao and what's his name, that didn't really get established too well in Until We Meet Again. I need it.
I don't care about Manao. Literally the only thing in between us that I care about.
I know. I shouldn't have even said anything.
You shouldn't have even said anything.
We're moving on.
So that's all we have for you tonight, guys. We hope you have a good night.
Thank you for joining us.
And we'll talk to you later. Bye!
Thanks for listening to today's episode of The Nooniverse. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to subscribe. Want to learn more about the show? Follow The Nooniverse on socials so you can stay tuned for future episodes, special announcements, and much more. See you in the next episode!